Night owls until the next twilight. You're gonna lay down in bed
until the next night owl.
Until the night owl.
Hello, Twilight.
Don't say that because you're gonna do it.
Welcome back, Night Owls, to episode 2 of the Tales at Twilight podcast. Last time, party of adventurers kind of came together in common circumstances to defend the local village of Marshview against a bandit raid. They faced a giant raccoon bandit captain who was trying to collect resources from the village, and after thoroughly delimbing and eviscerating a lot of them.
Listen, okay. He had it coming, man. I didn't know Beam from the Moon was gonna burn a guy's limbs off. Okay.
To be fair, they were also equally brutal. They were shooting at people running away. That is something that was definitely not an accident, on purpose. The bandits were definitely aiming to come off as a scary force with not as many numbers, but they definitely hurt a lot of innocent, elderly, children, and alike throughout the town, throughout when you guys were there during that night or day and previous nights, as you came to discover as some of the inhabitants talked to you a little bit before you guys headed out. We learned about the raid and pillaging of Brackenmill, which is y'all's next stop to investigate more of the motives of the bandits and to seek out Penny's father, who been through rumor, told to have been heading that way or had been there before. Q is seeking out more knowledge on the motives and the organization of the bandits, because there is some whispers and rumors that are being heard throughout the realm of Humblewood that a coalition of smaller bandit groups are teaming up to achieve a common goal. And Thistlefoot is also aiding you guys for multiple reasons, for his own mission at heart and to kind of take care of the common people and keep peace. So last we left off, you guys had exited the town, and we will kind of jump ahead a little bit. You guys got a night of rest, so you got a full long rest, and you've set out along the road, heading northeast along the road to Brackenmill. After a couple hours of walking, you enter like the forest proper that surrounds the capital city of Alderheart. It spans hundreds of miles, and the canopy kind of lets you enjoy a nice shade, a cooler, temperate environment. You do see a lot of local animals like deer and wildlife and bugs and things like that. Deer. Yeah, you see them kind of jumping through the canopy. And the first sign of life that you see is when it hits evening time, the sun is setting. It's already a little bit dark because of the shade of the trees. You come across a makeshift campsite just off the road with little canopies and tarps and tents, and you can smell burning wood from a campfire and a little bit of food. You could see a couple of different travelers kind of set up eating, and it kind of looks like a good place to maybe camp out for the night if you would wish to do so.
Penny is curious.
Okay.
Penny would like to at least say hello.
Yeah, I think there's nothing.
Let's check it out.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with saying hello to these nice folk.
As you kind of step off the road and onto the makeshift trail, go maybe 10 or 20 feet, you enter the edge of the campsite, seeing a couple of different people. There's a crow folk, a rabbit folk, and a badger and a rabbit folk sitting around the campfire. They're kind of talking quietly and sharing meals. You can tell. One of you give me a perception check for me.
I'm on it.
First roll of
Got it.
episode 2.
Got it. I'm gonna peek and see if I can see anything.
Take
That
a peek.
is a natural 1.
Natural
Good
1.
start. Natural 1.
Good start to the session.
All right. I'm plus 3 in perception, by the way. So,
Me too.
so it's a 4, except it's a natural 1.
I will say my beady eyes, I have pretty good passive perception.
What is your passive perception?
16.
I think I remember you having the best passive perception. Your keen eyes look over to the tents that are unoccupied right now. The baggage of these travelers is very light for being this deep in the woods, kind of secluded from the towns. You are probably equidistant from every town of Brackenmill, Alderheart, and Marshview and the Saltersport. So you're kind of in the middle of nowhere where you want to bring rations and weapons and food and water, or at least know a place to stop along the way to stay fueled up. So you do notice that they are packing very lightly. One of the people they kind of all turn to you and give you hesitant glances. They look a little nervous. They kind of examine your look and the variety of people with you or creatures with you.
Thistlefoot just gives a warm, small smile.
A rabbit folk man kind of stands up and says, "What are you doing around these parts? Didn't expect to see any more travelers along this road since all the raids. Are you part of the coalition?"
Oh, no.
Okay, good. I didn't think so, but okay, good. You're welcome to share our fire if you need somewhere to stay for the night.
That would be amazing. Thank you.
Well, thank you. That's very kind of you.
He kind of sits down, and there's a couple stones and stumps that are surrounding the campfire, and a couple of the others kind of go off and start preparing themselves for bed. But the rabbit folk kind of sits there and starts getting out a piece of wood and a little knife and starts shaving off a little bit, making like either a spear, or he starts carving. You don't know yet.
Thistlefoot takes his little pack off and brings out a little pot, removes a little pouch around his belt that has some coffee beans in it, and he pulls out a little mechanism that is a grinder and starts grinding some beans, and just preoccupied with getting ready to brew a little pot of coffee while everybody else is kind of talking and getting to know each other.
Penny's going to notice that Q is still kind of wandering off a little bit with your natural one. So Penny's going to kind of try to tap you without poking on your quills.
What?
This way. Look.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Q is gonna walk up to the crow folk and extend a hand and say, "Q, nice to meet you."
Jack, nice to meet you.
What are you doing out here so far away from Alderheart?
Well, we're fleeing the bandits. They pillaged and taken over Brackenmill. There's not much left there.
Really?
Yeah.
That's where we're headed.
Oh, bad road to make. Wouldn't head there myself if I were you.
We can handle ourselves pretty well, but you come from Brackenmill. Have you noticed anything specific about these bandits? Do they wear any sort of crest, emblem?
Crest? I didn't notice one. Heard a lot more bandit attacks lately, but nothing. I'll be honest, I wasn't really looking out for it that much. Just trying to get out of there with all the chaos. There was a big raid not too long ago.
How many days do you think since the raid?
Oh, goodness. A week or so? There's been multiple, but this one was a big one. They're taking people.
I'm trying to think of what I want to respond to that with.
Thistlefoot hands Jack a small, simple, little wooden carved cup that has some warm coffee in it. And he just gives...
Strong smell.
Thistlefoot just gives him a warm little smile and a warm nod at the cup, letting him know that, like, hey, here you go.
Thank you very much. What is this?
Oh, it's called coffee. It's a nice little warm drink for a nice warm fire and some friends.
What is coffee?
We'll try it. Try it and you'll find out.
He sticks his beak in and like
as he drinks,
slurping going on.
As he drinks it, Jack will get earthy taste with a hint of hazel.
You see him like it's hot and it's bitter.
Yeah. Blow on it a little bit. It is a little warm, but it'll warm the spirit. Here's some sugar to help cut down on the bitterness. He pulls out a little sugar pouch from Sash and hands it to Jack.
And sometimes if you drink a lot of it, it gives you the zoomies.
What's the zoomies?
When you get really hyper.
Oh.
That's why I can't drink it
We're
anymore.
about to go to sleep.
It's really
Thistlefoot just shakes his head.
Really helpful if you're fleeing from bandits.
That's true.
I'll save it for later then.
Not so good if you save it for later.
Why is that?
Drink it hot.
But not too hot.
What? I I save it for later then.
Okay.
Kind of like pours it into a little thing and corks it off. Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome, Jack.
And then the rabbit foot kind of comes up. My name's Thorne. What?
Sorry. No, it was just funny. Like you said the name, and me and Wookie instantly just started writing down.
It's
good to be note takers.
Notebook. I mean, like I would be doing the same thing.
It's okay. It's okay.
Just left out.
Thistlefoot hands Thorne another little
Thank you.
little cup, gives a warm smile. And Thistlefoot starts busying himself by pouring just little cups of coffee and little carved mugs out to everyone.
They all take
Thanks,
it,
buddy.
and they have different reactions. Most of them are like, "Ooh, this is good." A lot of them seem like tea drinkers, but coffee's not really common out east. And as Thorne is sipping it and sitting down kind of close to you guys, he leans in and says, "I've heard a couple rumors about the bandits that we're talking about taking people. Jack was right about that. Jack and I are craftsmen that used to work at Brackenmill, but they were taking a couple of our friends and other people that were craftsmen and took them out to some place. So we got out of there before it was too late. They were kind of pressing in on more raids day after day. I'd be careful if you're going out there."
You wouldn't happen to have seen another pangolin by chance in your group of crafters, would you?
He looks at you up and down. "No, I'm sorry, I haven't."
Okay.
As a special little side note, once Thistlefoot has finished passing out coffee, he takes his own cup and kind of not leaves the group, but is on the outer perimeter, posting up against a tree and just kind of keeping watch, but also keeping an ear tuned into the conversations around the fire.
The night breeze is really calming and soothing. It's almost meditative as the sun completely sets and the light of the fire like casts a glow throughout the canopy around you, and you hear the leaves rustling around you and some animals every now and again. The night kind of starts to wrap up and the others go to bed. Thorne is still kind of working on a piece of wood, just kind of like carving it, leaning back on his bedroll against his tent. As you guys kind of put up your tents for the night, you easily drift off to sleep, and
Thistlefoot takes first watch.
you feel a little bit safer in a group, even though you may not know these people very well. They come off pretty kind. If you want to roll a perception check for me for the night. Do you have dark vision? For those of you who don't know what dark vision is, it just means you can see a little bit better in the dark. It's pretty straightforward, I'd say, but
I have very dark vision.
I do not.
Where would you find
nega vision.
I have the vision.
I think Q is the only one that has dark vision.
Q is gonna just check on the strength of the campfire before we sleep, make sure that it's still controlled and not about to go out.
Yeah. I feel like they are tending to it because they're the ones. This is kind of like their campsite. So like every couple hours, you'll see one of them stir as it like dims a little bit, and they'll get up and toss a couple of logs. There's like a small pile of branches and logs that they've gathered before bed to put on the fire as needed.
Okay. I am just going to kind of approach them as I notice that they're stoking the fire and say, I can help with that. And Q is going to cast Druidcraft, funny spell to have as a cleric, but he does have it, and essentially just create a sort of magical light to keep the fire burning. Essentially, you can instantly light or snuff out any candle, torch, or small campfire.
Okay.
What he's attempting to do here is create sort of this sort of like persistent fire that will last. It lasts in a cube around where he casts it, so he's going to cast it essentially a 5-foot cube around the campfire.
Cool.
So he's just going to keep that there to help it burn throughout the night.
Yeah, as soon as he sets down a couple more logs and you like extend a hand, a magical sparkle leaves your hand and the flame like grows almost double its size. And for the rest of the night, you'll not have to tend the fire, at least for tonight, that is.
You guys take a rest. You've been through a lot.
Thank you. And Thorne kind of goes back to his tent and lays down in his bedroll and closes the flaps on the tent. You'll roll Thistlefoot with disadvantage, so you'll roll 2d20 and pick the lowest.
Okay, sounds good. Thistlefoot's on the kind of outer edges of campsite, just kind of walking around. Nice. And of course, so that gets 9.
9.
9.
Well, you see things. It is a peaceful night, and the breeze sweet, and you just had a nice cup of coffee before bed, and you feel calm and safe as you're taking a look. Is anybody else taking watches, or are we just?
I feel like Q is probably not in a tent, but resting for sure.
Okay.
So not necessarily on watch. He's in the campsite,
After
but he sleeps on the leaves, so he's not.
Okay.
Yeah, after about 4 hours or so, I'll go over to where Q is, and I'll tap him gently enough to kind of wake him up.
What's up?
It's your watch.
Oh yeah, right. It's that time. Like he's gonna get up and trade posts
Okay.
with Thistlefoot.
Thistlefoot doesn't have a tent or pitch up a tent, just takes a little blanket out and situates a little away from the fire.
Q. Roll perception check
Okay.
with your all vision.
My all vision.
Your
it's
all
really
vision.
just dark vision. It's not actually special.
Oh, Father, give me strength.
17.
Nice. As you're kind of looking out into the edges of the darkness that most people can't see into, you think you see about an hour in a pair of eyes gleaming at you from the thickness of the forest. They just open in the darkness and stare at you for a moment, and then they close and disappear.
So Q is no stranger to the darkness, but am I able to make out anything other than the shape of eyes?
No, it's just on the edge of your dark vision at that about 60 feet out.
Okay.
You just see large eyes. And if you could proportion out the size of the eyes, it would be a large entity. You don't know if it was like a beast or a intelligent creature
They're
or
large eyes.
Yeah, they were very big eyes.
Big, beautiful eyes.
They were
Okay.
big, beautiful. Well, yeah, maybe they're beautiful, but it looked kind of scary at first, depending on how your reaction is to
Okay.
it. But yeah, big pair of eyes.
I am going to cast a spell, and hopefully it works. I'm going to cast Fairy Fire directly in the directly at the eyes, essentially.
Okay.
So Fairy Fire has a range of 60 feet, but it's a 20-foot cube where it
Okay.
lands.
All right.
So hopefully it works.
Okay.
Objects in a 20-foot cube within range, which is the 60 feet, are outlined in blue, green, or violet light. It's going to be violet. Each creature in the cube is also outlined if it fails a dexterity saving throw. For the duration, objects and affected creatures shed dim light in a 10-foot radius and can't benefit from the invisible condition.
Oh.
Attack rolls against an affected creature have advantage if the attacker can see it.
I didn't think about you casting a spell.
Yeah. First level, by the way.
It's a great spell. It's the best spell. You quickly react to the eyes opening, extend your hand, and cast the spell, and a poof of light emanates in a cube out that direction, but no silhouette, no entity is outlined. Whatever was there is quickly gone out of the space. You don't see them again immediately, at least. And for the rest of the night, you're kind of on watch. I would say like
High alert.
But you do not see those eyes again for the rest of the night.
Okay.
The fairy fire that you have going on when you're like kind of watching, near the end of it, you see something light up and you kind of come to for a second and you just realize it's a squirrel. God damn it. Just, it got curious and walked into it and then got covered in that violet light and like freaked out and like climbed up a tree and ran away for a second. Well, actually, let's see. Does it fail the... It failed the dexterity saving throw.
If a squirrel survives the dex save, man,
They can. It's all about the dice.
just gotta prepare a different
It's
spell.
all about that. That's a good spell. You should definitely keep that.
It's a
in.
really good spell.
a
It
great
didn't
spell.
work, but it's a good spell.
The new morning rises. You wake up refreshed and safe. The campsite is good. Yes.
So just for character.
Cut me off anytime you need to.
Yeah,
by
sorry.
the way.
Thistlefoot is first one to wake up. He sees everybody else is sleeping around, and he uses the quiet moment before everybody else starts stirring, waking up to do some leaf in the wind movements.
Well, Q's gonna make his way back from post and see you doing your Tai Chi and just make a little breeze with Druidcraft. So your like wind Tai Chi and be like, yeah, now it's actual.
It doesn't bother Thistlefoot at all.
No, he's trying to make you feel like you're the airbender, like an airbender. from Avatar. He's like
Thistlefoot doesn't react to it at all.
Himself.
He's too in tuned with the flows of the movement.
I tried.
With the flow of the leaf through the breeze.
And then
Strike 2 for magic.
in the background, you just hear, good morning.
You just see Thistlefoot just doing these kind of martial arts type of movement, and no particular order.
Ooh, dedication. All right. Where's my hammer?
It's gone. No, everything's there. Campsite's good.
The freaking squirrel took it.
You'll notice Thistlefoot, Thorne is one of the first other people besides yourself, and he kind of goes over the fire and sees it still going, and sits down, starts up a little bit of breakfast, and puts a couple of rations on, and after eating his breakfast, he walks over to you and says, I noticed that symbol you got on. Are you part of the Whispering Pines?
Thistlefoot stops the movement that
Sorry to interrupt.
That he's doing. He takes a deep breath in, deep breath out, centers himself, and comes back to like being present. Smiles at Thorne and say, why, yes, sir. I'm part of the Whispering Pines Monastery.
Well, that's good to hear. I don't see many of your folks out here this way, but
Yeah, we've been concentrating, receiving refugees from the fires out west. Been tasked right now to just kind of go off right now on my own little journey. Have you? How did you know? How do you know about the Whispering Pines?
Well, your folks helped me out when I was younger, kind of displaced from my family from just circumstance, and they took me in for a while before I set out on my own. They took care of me in my time of need, so every time I see you, kind of like to thank you. So, and he reaches into his pocket of his cloak and he pulls out a now fully carved, beautiful pine tree carving. And it looks like instead of the 2-dimensional amulet you wear, it's like a 3-dimensional.
That looks like a pine sol fresh.
Yes. And he extends his hand and hands it to you.
Thistlefoot's tail does a little uncharacteristic twitch, and he gives a very warm smile and says, "Thank you very much, Thorne." And he receives the gift. I'm so sorry that you had to go through what you went through, but I'm glad that my people were able to help you.
Just like to show my appreciation when I can. So I appreciate it. And you shared some of your coffee with us, so it's the least I can do.
Yeah. Well, here, I want you to take some for you. And I pull out already a pre-made little bag.
Pre-ground coffee.
Yeah, pre-ground Whispering Pines brew.
You have like a little K-cup.
Yes.
Poke a hole, put it in the pot.
No, they're not K-cups. They're called pine cups.
Okay,
So,
close enough.
What's the ratios on that?
Temperature of water.
Well, good luck on your travels, and after a little bit, everyone's kind of packing up, and they give the anime goodbye off the road. They give the hand wave, and they don't even look at you.
I like to think that Q is like already on the road leaving, kind of disconnected. And he's like, "Come on, Thistlefoot, we gotta go. Let's go."
What is your passive perception, Q?
13.
13. Okay, as you're walking up the road, splitting paths from the Thorne and the others, you notice off in that direction, now that it's lit up in daytime, you spot very large paw prints, like a feline that was stalking the area, but never went any closer. When you're looking in the area where you casted Fairy Fire, you see they kind of abruptly turn out and away from your camp, like you maybe scared it off. But you look like you were kind of the camp was being stalked by a large cat of predator.
That's right. Fairy fire is scary, man.
It is.
Do I recognize the paw prints as anything I've seen before?
Go ahead and roll me either a survival or a nature check for me.
Do you want me to call it before I roll? Survival or nature doesn't matter.
Sometimes I'll give you different information, but for this one, it'll be the same. So either one.
It was a 12. And we'll call it nature because that's just the first thing that came to my head. So it's, that was the wrong choice, but it's 13.
13? You could switch to the other one.
Nope.
Okay.
Commit.
Stick to your guns.
Survival's +5, by the way. So it would have been 17 with survival.
It's a pretty easy DC. You have seen these before in your travels. They're widespread across Humblewood. These things are called forest prowlers. They are large feline beasts, and now you connect the big eyes that you saw. It was hard to see so far away, but they are prominently heard about, like in a lot of the children's tales, to like keep kids in their room and go to sleep at night, because they prowl at night and they will go after small game and things. They're not really afraid of getting close to settlements. They look like leopards, big cats, lions, but they have little horns that come out of their head, bright yellow, orange, amber eyes. And depending on the region that they're kind of staying in, their hide adapts to the color of the environment, giving them a little bit of camouflage to where they're at. So if they're in the forest, they have like a green hue to them that kind of resembles the look of leaves, things like that.
Have we already like basically left the camp?
No.
Okay. How's the sense of smell on a?
The sense of smell.
I would think so.
It's okay. They're known where other predators are known for their sense of smell and tracking. They're more known for their natural camouflage.
Okay.
So that's their big edge on people.
Okay. So Q is going to take a pungent flower out of his pouch and give it to Jack and say, "Take this with you."
Oh, okay.
Something was stalking the camp last night.
You like ran up after them and they're like saying bye.
Wait. What? Sorry, I forgot. Something was stalking us last night, and this may help to ward it off.
Oh,
so I'm gonna give him a very. I'm gonna give him this very. It smells like durian.
Oh,
but it's a flower.
So your friend gave me a drink. Is this food?
Don't eat it. Don't eat it.
He goes,
it might taste good.
Oh, tempting.
Don't eat it.
I want to eat it now.
It's for your protection.
You shouldn't have said it. I want to eat it.
For your protection.
Oh my God, I want to eat it.
Don't eat it.
Can I eat it later?
Nope. When you get to where you're going and you're safe, then you can.
Okay, I'm gonna eat it.
You might regret it, but you can eat it.
No, I'm not gonna regret it.
Okay. He's gonna run back and catch up.
All right, you depart and make your way.
Thistlefoot's going to tap Penny on the, I guess, arm. Oh no, you're about on the shoulder.
I'm only like a foot taller than
Yeah,
you.
short.
I can reach. I can reach your shoulder. Thistlefoot's going to tap Penny on the shoulder.
Oh, yeah.
Penny, when was the last time you saw your papa?
It's been a few years. About 6 years-ish, maybe. It's been a while. I was a teenager, so he's been gone a long time, so that's why I'm really determined to find him.
Thistlefoot just kind of gives a nod and poses up behind the group, kind of keeping the back watch.
I'm going to turn around and be like, may I ask why you ask?
Just wanted to know.
Oh, okay.
As you make your way through the forest, after another day of travel, you exit the forest proper. So you begin to see cliffs begin to rise, and the flatlands of the forest around you disappear behind you. And as you're keeping watch, roll me a perception check, Thistlefoot, really quick.
Which I hate. 11.
You're not rolling too hot tonight.
Want to trade?
No, it's okay.
He's got a lot to choose from.
11. You can't help but think you're being watched, but you never are able to figure out why. And you feel a sweet relief as you take a nice dump. I'm just kidding. That morning dump from episode 1 comes back.
That coffee.
It is that coffee.
It's the
That
coffee.
poop, man.
No,
It's the coffee. It's good for regular bowel movements.
And you don't know why, but you feel like you can see your surroundings and feel like you're not being watched. And that feeling leaves you. And after not too much longer of traveling, off in the distance, you see smoke rising, and as you kind of cross a hill, you can finally see the city of Brackenmill, and you can see crumbling buildings in the distance, and the smoke is coming from some of those buildings. You see movement. It doesn't like it's imminently under attack right now. You don't know the status of the people there and if they're bandits or not, but you can see movement like daily life. It doesn't look like, from your passive at least, that it's aggressive slave labor and bandits beating civilians. It just looks like a town that's been beaten down and assaulted and raided a few times. There's no like front gate proper or any fencing surrounding, but you can tell the farmlands that imminently surrounded the homes are picked clean, and the clean lines of raking and plowing that were there before are muddled with large footsteps and debris and broken wheels of carts and things like that. And all of the fields are barren and dry. There's nothing.
a shiver down Q's spine when you say that the footprints all over he sees the footprints treading through the farmland.
And as you get closer, you can see a few inhabitants. One of them is on a ladder that's kind of creaking back and forth, and they're lifting stones up with the help of another person kind of putting them up there as a fox folk. He's lifting, muscles rippling, and putting large stones on a mortar and using a little like a spatula-like object to smooth out before he puts another stone, re-bricking different buildings and trying to repair the damage. It looks like it has rained somewhat recently, and the homes show it because the interiors are a little bit wet and damp looking as you're kind of entering the front of the town. And the inhabitants look at you initially, just like kind of looking you over, making sure you're not a part of the bandits, and that's easily seen that you're not. And then they continue to ignore you.
How fresh does it look like these footprints are?
Go ahead and roll investigation for me. And I always get confused with this, but for viewers and players, investigation is more like analyzing the things that you've already seen, and perception is spotting them in the first place, if that makes sense.
18.
18. So there's varying histories to the footsteps. Some of them look, most of them in the fields look older, but the ones that match those with that high investigation check in the town look a little more recent, as of like maybe like 3 or 4 days. So you can kind of put together that they've been here more than once.
Town's probably been raided a couple days ago.
Yeah, probably. At least they've been here a few days ago, from what you can tell. The traffic is all but gone. This town used to be a hub for niche farmland, crops, and supplies that are needed for the Avium, which is the magical school of this world, way out west from here. It's not super far, but it's the closest next town west. And they supply a lot of the stuff for Alderheart and Avium for trade and crafting. This is like one of the big hubs for things that are not as common in this region. So,
yeah. Does it seem like the village folk are pretty disheartened?
A lot of them, yeah. You can tell that there's some that are really putting their effort into trying to like make this place a home. They didn't leave; they're here. And if one of you wants to give me an insight check for me,
Do it.
we'll have like kind of a group mind moment of you guys all understanding kind of what's going on here, just to make it easier. So it's not like, oh, can I roll? Can I roll?
19.
You are looking around at some of the inhabitants. There's a mouse folk on a little step ladder, like rehanging a side of a sign that kind of fell off from maybe the damage of one of the bandit raids, and you can see the symbol on it is like a stump, and underneath it says the Burrowed Oak, and it's a tavern there in town. You can see there's some open windows, like shutters that are open. There's a bar and a bunch of seating. You don't see any craftsmen aside from one that you kind of insight. The one that's lifting all those big stones looks to be some sort of craftsman of like a builder of some sort. He has a tool belt and he's lifting all these heavy stones, kind of like helping rebuild the town by himself, because everyone else, there's only like a handful of people here. And most of them just look like common folk that don't know how to wield a hammer to craft any specialties. It's a little bit of a sad sight. There's lots of buildings here, 50 or so buildings, but they all look pretty much abandoned, and a lot of the front doors are off their hinges. A lot of the windows are broken. You can tell that they have not been entered in a while, except for save a few.
No guards of any kind around whatsoever.
No. And
Q,
you know the at least Q and Thistlefoot know that there used to be a town guard here. You don't see them at all.
Q kind of taking in the scenery is going to sort of push back his inner feeling of disgust for who did this and focus on trying to help out the people of the that are still here, the people that are the survivors. And so he's going to move in and go and approach the fox that's building the wall.
Okay. As you approach, you can hear the labored grunts of him hoisting up large stone, putting it on. He reaches that little spatula into a pouch beside. You see more mortar, slaps paste on, smooths it out. And as he's reaching down to grab another stone, "Oh, how are you, sir?"
I'm doing all right. How about yourself, buddy?
"I'm doing all right. Can I help you with something?"
Well, I was just checking in to see if I could give you a hand. I'm looking into a number of things. A large part of it is what's happened here, and unfortunately too familiar with destruction like this. So I'd like to help out.
Are you from Alderheart?
I'm
Did they
from
finally
Alderheart,
send
friend.
some? Oh,
Do you request help from Alderheart?
I mean, we've tried. I'd hoped our message has gone through. Our courier is struggling to keep our network together. But
How long ago did you send the courier?
Leela, our messenger courier, sent out through one of her employees weeks ago. We haven't heard back. We assumed they were gathering forces, but
What's the normal day's travel to Alderheart from here? Q has been there, so he may know this.
okay. It's about like 2-3 days travel if you stop. But if you go nonstop, you can get there in about a day and a half, 2 days.
A few weeks is concerning. Have you sent anyone after?
We don't have anyone else.
Okay.
We are the few you see here. I'm one of them. and as you're looking around, there's people that are starting to eye you as you're talking. And like, they don't seem concerned, but they're just curious. You're not bandits, so people feel a little bit safer to kind of give into their curiosity. And you see like a handful of people, maybe like 4 or 5 people in the town looking out.
Q is going to kind of absorb this information and say, okay, that sounds about right.
You said you're here to help?
I would worry more about your courier than you are, but yes, we're here to help.
We're spread a little bit thin, so as much as I would like to send someone, we don't have anyone.
I understand. Where can we help?
Looks around a little bit. I'm the last capable hand here. The rest are old or too young to handle their own, and I have to keep myself hidden during the raids. But if you can help building or putting some of these places back together, that would really help us a lot.
Great. I'm going to wave over to my 2 companions, call them over, and kind of look at you both and say, you guys think we can fix this place up a little bit?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Thistlefoot gives a nod.
Okay. I'm going to look back I didn't catch your name. Sorry.
I'm Gundrik, and he extends a hand.
Q. Nice to meet you. I'm going to shake his hand.
And you feel the deep calluses in his hands as he grips your hand for a handshake.
And tell him, I'm somewhat of a gardener by trade. I can start in the fields. If that will help, we can start to rebuild some food supply, at least for a bit. I can get you started.
Oh. You could go help Elara. She's trying to get to some of her stores that would help. She's our town healer. She has a lot of herbs and things that are locked under a crumbled building that would help her.
As soon as he says herbs, Q's face just lights up. He's like, I'm on it. And he just starts walking off in a random direction. He said, oh, where?
Elara's building, he points down the street to one of the street corners. You could see like a market stall, and he points out one of the stalls. You see a chicken folk person just sitting out front, like working around one of the stalls.
Q's going to go, oh, all right, I'm going. And he's just going to start walking towards the...
So Elara is the town healer.
Lara? Elara?
Elara, E-L-A-R-A.
Okay.
Chicken.
Yeah.
Gundrik kind of looks at the other two of you. I could really use some help moving some of the stones that have fallen on my shop. I'm actually the town smith, and I can't really repair some of these things or make some of the things we need and tools to complete the town without getting inside my shop.
I got you. What do you need me to do?
And he kind of walks over a couple buildings to, it looks like kind of like an open air shop, but the roof has collapsed, and it looks like he couldn't do it by himself, but if you give him a hand, you might be able to get some of the bigger pieces off of the forge and into the different workshop tables.
Okay.
Thistlefoot, seeing that Penny has the rubble moving handled and helping out, and Q's off wandering to his herbs delight, Thistlefoot's going to walk off and see who's going to need tending to.
Okay. Give me a perception check, and then we'll kind of set out on our own little missions, I guess. Ooh!
Gosh, that is a natural one.
That's 2 this episode.
Yeah.
Dang!
You're going over
Curse.
here.
Jeez,
Bye-bye.
dude!
Curse. That dagger
Time
here.
out.
Here's the trash
Just
can.
squish
Toss it
that. Natural 1.
Natural run to look
Natural
to how
one.
to help.
Okay.
Love it. Love that for me.
You...
Pretty
fall
butterfly.
in the dirt. I fall in the dirt.
do to
She
you?
was untied.
I
Got
trip on my tail and I fall in the dirt.
Got distracted by a butterfly.
I get distracted by how you said the village looked kind of burnt.
Various damage.
Various
that being
damage.
one of them, yeah.
Okay. I get a little distracted at how it's kind of burnt.
We'll start with Penny. You are brought over, or we're already there, kind of at his shop. Go ahead and roll me an athletics check, and I'll give you advantage because Gundrik is helping you trying to lift these big panels and stones off of his shop.
My brain just blinked out. Did you say advantage?
Yes.
Okay,
Athletics
cool.
advantage.
Got it.
So you
Thank
can roll
you.
2 and take the highest. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice.
22.
Get it, girl.
Oh yeah.
She's
Both
strong.
of you pick up these large panels and easily toss them to the side. And we'll kind of go through like a montage of you guys like taking pieces out. And after like an hour or so, you're able to fully clear out the shop, and he starts breaking apart the usable pieces, talking about where he's going to put them. But your mind kind of takes you elsewhere as you see in the corner of the shop a familiar sight. A large hammer sits in the corner of the shop. It was under a piece of the last piece of rubble, and it's your dad's.
Oh.
You don't see, like, you're a little relieved, maybe also panicked. You don't see his body or anything, like, so, but you see his hammer.
Gundrik, where did that come from?
Matter of fact, someone kind of like you was here. So that's his hammer. He was helping me out in the shop before taken.
So he was taken from here? Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm just...
No, it's he. Did you know him?
That's my dad.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Do you mind if I take that?
Oh, please.
Okay. Because...
I didn't even know it was there. He must have left it in the
yeah, I'm gonna
raid.
I'm gonna make sure to return it to him.
Absolutely.
I want him to have it back.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. He's an adventurer. He was out adventuring, and you know, he got lost, I guess. So we're gonna find him though. I know we will.
Didn't seem very lost to me. He was pretty confident.
That's good.
He seemed like he had something he was trying to do. He asked me about some stone or something,
Yeah.
like a I'd never heard of it myself, but
I don't have the name for it either, but I know it shines like the night sky.
what? You think I'd know something about that kind of thing as a smith, but no, I haven't heard of it before. I feel really guilty. He's and thankful at the same time. He's the reason I'm still here.
Really?
Yeah. When they came to the shop, he took my place.
That's my dad. He just helps and takes over wherever people need help. So,
Well, I can see that in you.
thanks. That's awesome, though. I haven't heard anything about my dad in so long that it makes me happy. So thank you for that.
Porter was a good help while he was here. He was trying to find the stone you're talking about. Maybe he had some leads that brought him out this way. I never got to talk to him much. He was helping for a day or so, and then the raid happened. So
And you said he was taken during the raid?
yeah,
Or-
they've been taking I'm the last craftsman here. They took all our crops, a bunch of our supplies, food. Some of the other folks that are here have theories on what they're doing or where they might be, but I keep my head buried in my work, so I wish I didn't. I would have known more. But you might talk to some of the other people and they might know.
I definitely will. Yes, thank you for that.
And if there's anything I can do, I appreciate your help.
No problem. Yeah.
Do you mind if I speak? Maybe I can do something for you. Do you mind if I see you've got a hammer there? Maybe I can give you a little gift, a little upgrade maybe.
Ooh, okay. Yeah.
And for now, you'll use the same hammer statistically. He'll take yours, and you can use your dad's in the meantime. And he's going to do something for it, on it for you.
Oh.
Q.
Meanwhile.
Me.
You quickly run down the street, and you see, as you get closer, Elara, this chicken folk person. You see one wing holding their back. As you get closer, you can tell it's an older woman leaning over. The feathers are very thinned. They're not as thick and poofy. You can kind of see the outline of the body of this woman as she leans over very frailly and is opening shelves with her shaky hands and moving things around. And
He's gonna scurry up quickly and say, "Hello, hey,
scared me.
sorry about that. Hey,
I didn't hear you coming. I don't have the best hearing.
My bad. That's you know what? I should have thought that one through.
Sorry, young man.
That one's on me.
Did she pop out an egg?
Ooh, I thought you were the bandits.
Yeah, you've been through a lot. Yeah, that's I should have known better.
Did she pop out an egg?
Yeah, you.
Oh, I didn't
dear,
know
yeah.
you could do that when you're that old.
Let me,
when you're that young. Hey. Q, nice to meet you.
Elara, nice to meet you.
Hey. He gently shakes her.
You just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, well,
Nice to meet
sometimes
ya.
life brings us to nowhere places very quickly. So
This ain't nowhere. This is well, it was a nice place until the bandits, but it's good to see a bright, shining face like yours in the town.
Well, I'm here to help. We caught up with what's his name?
Gundrik.
Gundrik.
We caught up with Gundrik.
Oh, yes, okay.
He kind of filled us in on what's going on.
Okay.
So I noticed your crops are dire and want to help out as much as I can.
Well, all my seeds and herbs and everything are in the storage basement here, and she gestures a shaky wing past the cart awning with all the shelves and the market stall. That's all. And you can see the house is completely destroyed, but the stairs that lead down to a basement are just covered by the debris. And you feel like you might be able to slip in to get supplies, but she's far too old and frail to kind of do that. She says, if you would go down there and take a look for the seeds and maybe a couple of other herbs, that would be helpful. I can start planting a new crop, and maybe we can get some potions brewed for the injured and prepare for whatever else comes. Gotta rebuild somewhere.
I'm going, and pretty much as soon as she mentions seeds, Q is already looking the direction. He's like, where?
Down the stairs.
I'm going. Yeah, so Q's gonna scurry over and try to make his way into the basement.
Okay. So you make your way down the stairs, and there it's kind of a tight squeeze. So let's do if you want to forcefully squeeze through, or if you want to just kind of try and conform your body to get through. You'll either do athletics or acrobatics.
I feel like Q is
Unless you have another solution, we don't have to stick with that.
I feel like he's pretty wide. He's a thick boy, and so I don't think he's gonna be able to manipulate his quills and his.
Okay.
He's also large. So he's gonna have to force his way through.
All right. I didn't realize you were large.
5 feet
He's
tall,
5
bro.
foot. He's the tallest one.
I'm tall as fuck.
5 feet? I thought large was bigger than that.
No.
Medium
Sorry.
creature?
That's
Oh,
a
you're
D&D
just
term.
big. You're just big. Okay.
I'm just
okay.
describing.
Okay.
He's not large.
All right.
He's small.
Sorry. I drifted into D&D mechanic.
No.
For a
You're
second.
good.
Okay.
You're good. He's not large mechanically.
Okay.
He's technically classed
Large
as
if you-
monstrous.
If you are 2 feet tall mouse,
Right.
5 foot tall hedge,
Yeah.
big,
2 feet tall, 3 feet tall, 5. You're the biggest of the
big.
group.
But he's small mechanically.
So you're going to try and like squeeze in.
He's gonna try to forcefully make his way in because he's
Forcefully?
not gonna be able to squeeze.
Okay.
There's too much to squeeze.
All right. And don't let me force you anything. I know we're in the beginning.
Well,
if you have
changed
any
my mind.
ulterior ideas,
I do actually.
go for it.
So Hedge have this fun little mechanic. Maybe you want to explain this, but he can burrow. So
Oh, okay. So
can
burrowing
burrow.
is just, it's what it sounds like. You can dig.
I can go under the ground. I'm trying to find the exact
I thought you were gonna go all Sonic.
distances.
Gotta go fast.
I'm gonna roll up in a ball and I'm gonna spin and then it's gonna blow everything up.
I like hot dogs. What is it? Chili dogs?
Chili dogs.
I like chili dogs.
Sonic speed. I can burrow 15 feet
Wow.
Nice.
in a turn.
It's per
but
turn.
we're not in
Okay.
combat, so
This is a natural ability of yours, so
I like to think as part of his burrowing, he gets out a garden shovel.
So I'm gonna look for an area that's not gonna make me fall on my ass when I get into the. So maybe around the stairs, I want to burrow.
yeah. So the decline is like a dirt decline, but there's wooden steps put into the hill, and the bottom is just dirt, and there's a door. So you can easily get to the bottom and dig under and up inside. And we'll say, just because this is like your natural ability, you're easily able to, and you can see in the dark, burrow under and come up inside the basement, just on the other side of the door, where there is not
Penetrated the basement.
more asses, huh? I want you to roll a dexterity saving throw for me.
12.
Okay. As you pop up out of the ground, the dirt shifts around you, and as you can start to see the opening, this large basement is full of shelves and workbenches with vials, like that cross-hatch garden fence with herbs pinned to it to dry or just to be stored. But you pop up just close to one of the walls, and the leg of one of the shelves kind of move in.
No.
And you are unable to quickly enough brace it and pack some dirt under it, and it knocks over a couple of vials. And
Oh no.
I'm sorry to say, one of these vials
am
is lighting up the room. There's like a spark of life inside, and as it slow motion kind of falls to the ground, you see a single. Your hand just misses it. It hits the ground of packed earth, and a single crack goes through it, and the light inside escapes, and you see shoot out into a web of electricity, and it reforms outside of the bottle as a large electric entity taking the form like medium humanoid shape silhouette.
Oh,
So
no.
roll initiative for me.
Oh my gosh.
Guys.
I can't hear you.
Maybe the chicken will help me. The old chicken lady.
Yeah, she's gonna
help.
She's gonna help.
She's gonna be slow to help.
Ooh, 5 on initiative. We slow, boy. I'm big.
All right,
Yeah, boy. She thick.
let me.
You don't have
pull-
any bonuses to your initiative?
No, that's with the bonus.
Oh, jeez.
You
I
rolled
roll
a
a 3,
3.
buddy.
He's not- So initiative, we've fought a little bit already, but to re-describe, initiative is like your place in combat. It's like turn-based. So
I'm scooping rocks and you're fighting a
Fine.
Pikachu or something over there.
Fighting a Pikachu.
Can it form into a Pikachu shape instead of a humanoid?
Absolutely.
Perfect. It's a rat.
Hey.
No offense.
Hey.
Yeah, it's a mouse. Pikachu's a mouse.
Great.
Actually.
That means the stat block is going to be smaller. It's going to be weaker. So just so you know, you gotta match it, man.
The only thing that changes is its size at that point. I'm using the
We can
same
go back to
thing.
humanoid. We're good. The smaller, the harder to hit.
All right,
so.
let me roll initiative. It rolls a
Natural 1.
15, so it's going to go first.
By a long shot.
What is your passive perception, Thistlefoot?
My passive perception is 16.
16. Go ahead and roll initiative for me as well.
I'm not.
I know.
What the?
Oh, I know.
hell? What the?
You're walking around.
walking
just
around.
happen to be in the
walking on
area.
the beach. 15.
You tied initiative.
Ooh.
And with the new rules, I get to decide who goes first. The
We can
lightning
do
element.
rollsies.
Huh?
We can do roll off. We can do rollsies.
Yeah, that's more fun. I will roll. Oh, that is a 6 naturally on the die.
Yep. And I have a 10.
All right, so you will go first. You hear a crash and a crackling up the street. You just happen to be one street over, and you see a bit of smoke and dirt coming up from across the street. And as you look over through an alleyway, you could see Elara, the chicken folk, standing outside with a concerned jump, like her feathers have shot up, and you could see smoke coming out of a descending staircase down below. And you hear Q's voice, like, I don't know, what sound would you make as...
Okay. Well, I make a dash towards.
Okay, you can easily get to the bottom of the stairs with your movement, and you see a small space of which you could squeeze into if you really tried, or you could force your way in. Which would you do?
Oh,
The hole's not there still?
I'm
The
a.
burrow?
Huh?
The
You
hole's not still there?
You also see a hole, a burrowing hole. So you could go that way too if you like.
I'm taking the quickest route of least resistance, so I'm gonna go through the hole.
Okay. You down the hole, and Q, you feel movement beneath you, and you look down and you, like
You just see me.
yeah, you see Thistlefoot like immediately behind you. I would say you've used all of your movement and action and everything. And
Quick little boy.
I want it to be a little bit loose. Like, I don't want to be so strict on distances and action economy, so that it's like limiting to you guys.
Helps with the ear of the mind too. 'Cause
Yes,
we're not
yeah,
worried
we don't
too
have a
much
map.
about distance.
Especially for audio listeners. So as far as you can do something, but Q is plugging this hole that is above you at the moment. So until his turn of being able to maybe like shift over.
Yeah,
to
I'll
let
say,
you
I'll say it took
get
my.
up.
I will say it took my action.
Yeah,
to get over
You had to
there.
dash probably.
Yeah.
To get
But you can see through the little cracks as he's looking down at you past him. There's an electrical force shooting all over this basement, and you can see like the silhouette of a being.
I just look at Q and then I look at this electric thing.
It's not going good, buddy. I was just trying to get in here. I heard there were seeds.
I just shake my head.
So it is the lightning elemental's turn.
Oh, that's not a good sound that I like to hear.
I got
It reforms into a smaller bolt of lightning and shoots into the gap in the hole where you're at, Q, and goes into your burrow and kind of appears as a smaller being of electrical, like an orb on the other side of Thistlefoot. And you see it concentrating energy on the other side of you, Thistlefoot. And I need both of you to make Constitution saving
Oh,
throws.
Constitution.
Oh,
15.
15? That is a pass. 7.
We get 7, boys.
So Thistlefoot, you stay on your feet, but it contracts and then rapidly expands, and bolts of lightning shoot through the entire burrow, and your hands slip, Q, from the top, and you fall down about 5 or 10 feet, and fall prone since you failed, and 8 lightning damage for
I'm
you.
prone?
Yes, and you will take 4 because you saved Thistlefoot. It reforms into a visible silhouette, and it looks like it's intending to escape, but it did attack you on its exit. So we'll jump down to Q. It is your turn.
I'm prone.
Yeah, you fell down the hole a little bit.
You have to remind me a little mechanically.
Yeah,
about what I can
as
do
far
here.
as getting up, you just use half of your movement. But you're right next to this thing now. You're like squishing cheeks with Thistlefoot at the bottom of this burrow.
But I can tell that it's trying to escape.
Yes, but it is still within your reach if you choose so.
Okay.
It used all of its movement and everything to get down the hole.
Noticing that it's trying to escape, I'm gonna cast Spiritual Weapon. I want it to be a shield, and I want to kind of like put it right on top of the exit. So like if you take a shield and you're looking at a hole and you just push it down on the hole,
Okay.
that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to prevent the escape.
Yeah, so I like to, this is like lightning in a bottle, literally, again, kind of like you're grounding it.
You're grounded.
It can still, like the gap you had beside you, it could probably still get out, but it can tell you're trying to halt it, and the arcs start getting more violent, like it's mad that you're trying to keep it in. Also, Spiritual Weapon has changed since the original, and it is concentration now.
Correct.
So keep that in mind.
With the other half of my movement, can I climb into the... How far can I make it into the room of the basement?
Sure.
Or am I stuck in the hole?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get into the room of the basement, but
Yeah.
the shield's plugging the other side.
Yeah.
The side that goes out to the town.
Okay.
That's the goal.
All right. As you move out of you climb up the hole, it does lash out and kind of clip you as you're climbing out of the hole. 19 to hit.
Oh, it hits. Barely, but it hits.
That is 7 lightning damage.
Bruh!
As one of the arcs shocks your foot, getting out of its range. Thistlefoot, you're up.
Okay, I'm then going to take an offensive stance, and I'm going to punch at it. Attack it.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
For the attack of opportunity it did against me, do I need to roll it's Constitution save to see if I break concentration, right?
You do, yes. Go ahead and do it. So that is a Constitution saving throw, and it did 7 damage. So the way that concentration works, Q casts a spell that requires that, so you have to keep focusing on it throughout the battle. You can only do 1 at a time, and when you get hit, you have to maintain focus on it. So with a minimum of 10 damage, you have to beat a con save of 10. Since it only did 7, it rounds up to 10.
Okay.
But if it did way more, you'd have to meet that. So make a con save. The DC, the difficulty challenge, or whatever it stands for, is 10.
That one time, 16. It's fine.
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah.
It's 17 really, but it's 16.
Yeah. The shield doesn't even flicker. Your concentration is like totally natural.
I'm zoned in.
So I'm going to punch at it. See if I can hit it.
All right.
9.
9
That
did
is a
not
miss.
9.
What does that break me off of some flavor? What does that look like?
So
Your form. What does it look like?
quick little jab way.
I feel like you don't know where its physical format because it's
Yeah.
shifting so much as like an energy.
Yeah.
And so
yeah.
you hit beside it and you feel it kind of surrounding your blow.
Yeah, perfect. Seeing that misses, I'm then going to spend a focus point for my bonus action of Fury of Blows. So Fury of Blows for a monk is I can expend 1 focus point to make 2 unarmed strikes as a bonus action.
Go ahead.
So
It's
that's a 9.
okay. Its armor class, which is what you need to roll to hit, is 15.
Nice. So
you need to hit a
first
15 or higher.
one misses, and that's a 20, a nat 20 on that.
That's a crit.
That's
is
a crit,
critical
nat
hit.
20 crit, so total of 25. So
With
for
your
this,
damage, you can either roll double the dice because you crit, or you can double. You have to tell me before. You can either double the dice or double the number after you've rolled 1 set of dice.
we'll double my 1 roll.
Okay.
I'll roll 1 dice and we'll double it.
Okay. Go ahead.
So for fist, that's a D6. So 4. So that was a 2. So 4 plus 3 So that's 7. Total of 7.
Your fist finds its mark, and you see the arms, if you will, of the arcing lightning shudder, and the core kind of contracts and like almost painfully shakes and quivers as you thrust it.
I was thinking that.
It is its turn. The big explosion it did is a recharge ability, so it has to roll a d6 and get between a 4 and a 6 to be able to do that again. So I'm gonna
that's not cool.
That's a 2, so it does not get its big explosion. So now it's gonna.
You know, after a certain age, that tends to happen.
It does happen.
It's gonna.
Sometimes it happens too soon. Sometimes it happens later. You know?
Yeah,
It's gonna zap you. Literally, that's what its attack's called. So it's gonna zap you.
Oh,
I'm gonna
fun.
roll both at once. Wow, both are 19 on the die. 27 to hit for both of them.
Yeah, that's going to hit me.
That is 14 total lightning damage as 2 large arcs of lightning connect. One goes through the arm that you've punched it with at its core, and the other hitting your foot grounded on the ground, and the 2 energies collide at your center mass, giving you a big shock.
Oh, most definitely a big shock.
All right, Hugh.
Okay, so I'm in the basement now, right?
Yes.
In the room.
You're
part of the
surrounded
basement.
by a mostly collapsed shelf that kind of dipped and dropped some vials on the ground. And
Do I see? So the vial that fell and cracked, I probably didn't see much of that. But do I see anything that looks like any containers that look maybe that might be magical or anything like that?
I'll give you a free perception check.
I think we're outclassed with this.
I have a plan, maybe. We'll see. It's pretty good. It is 17.
You do see on one of the workbenches a set of vials that have etchings in the glass that you catch with your keen eyes, even in this like mostly dark basement, that look like containment vessels for things like this. You're not super involved with this kind of stuff, but familiar enough to know that's what that's for.
So I'm gonna describe what I want to do, and you tell me if it's too many things.
Okay.
So I'm gonna grab one of the vials
Sure.
on the
Yeah,
desk.
yeah.
I want to move back to the entrance that I've made into this room and try to shout down to Thistlefoot. Hey man, come on. And I'm gonna try to like get him to come out of the. So I'm gonna stick my my hand down to Thistlefoot and say, "Come on, buddy, come up here." And it sounds like a puppy, but that's not really what I'm trying to do. I'm basically trying to say, like, get up into the room and convey that I have an idea.
Okay. I will allow. So the way that opportunity attacks work is if you move out of the range, but if you help pull him out of the hole, you won't cause an opportunity attack. At this time, Penny, you now, at the distance you're at, hear a large explosion and see a big thing of smoke, and the couple of people close to you, like the tavern owner, rushes inside. You hear the door slam, and you see a big.
He's like, nope.
Yeah, all the people that were in the windows slam their shutters shut.
All the broken windows.
Yeah, and Gundrik kind of pulls up a big hammer beside him.
What is the old woman doing?
She's like hiding behind the. You can see Penny
Yeah.
as you, I'm assuming, begin to run that direction.
Like, oh no, okay, all right, let's go.
Yeah, you can hear Hugh shouting and like very, very softly in the distance, "Get up here, buddy, get up here!" And you run over there and see a chicken folk hiding behind one of her stalls, and smoke just rapidly exiting the set of stairs down there. As you get over there, you see a hole in the ground and then a door that is slightly open that you can squeeze through or try to forcefully get through.
The hole is blocked by the shield still.
Yeah. You do see a ethereal spiritual shield blocking the hole. Also, I'd like you to roll initiative for me.
Okay,
You got a bonus?
17.
17.
I forgot to add the plus.
All right. You beat everybody, I think. So this works out perfectly. Top of the round. You are up next. So you get there and you see the shield blocking the way. Elara is kind of cowering behind the stall. Looks like she's about to make a run for it. And you can hear your friends shouting from inside the tunnel and the door.
I'm gonna try to force my way through the door.
Okay. I'll give you a free athletics check. See if you can bust through the door.
All right. Nat 1.
Nat 1?
Yeah.
With 3 nat ones.
This one?
We've each
Okay, I thought you rolled the 4. Damn.
We've each rolled a nat 1.
So you do still get through.
This is beautiful.
But you move the door enough with the force that some of the rubble that is being held up by the door collapses on you a little bit as you come through the door, and you take 6 bludgeoning damage as it comes down and kind of bashes into you.
Oh no.
You are also going to be prone as you get inside.
I'm coming, guys.
Penny!
You do see, as you kind of let all the light into the basement, a flickering light from the hole inside, and your 2 friends sitting at the top of the hole.
Thistlefoot does look like he was struck by lightning.
A little poof on your tail is just like,
Yes.
The bottom
Yes.
of my foot is seared.
Singed. Yeah, his body is singed more than just the ear that he had before. You can
The ear that I had before makes it sound like I lost my ear.
No, yeah.
Shocked the ear right off of me.
The singed ear that you had. You can still get up, but you wouldn't be able to move anywhere, but you are by the hole. And then you can see even from the ground, or if you get up, silhouette of like a being inside of the hole, violently flickering and jolting out from the ground.
Well, first I'm going to get up. And then I still have an action. Do I still have an action?
Go ahead,
Okay.
sure.
She takes one of her daggers and she just throws it and just tries to see if she could
Okay,
hit.
sure. Roll to hit.
I don't want to use that dice. Okay.
Ooh.
18 to hit.
Absolutely hits.
Okay. 3 points of piercing damage.
Okay. You see as the dagger flies through the air, it hits this core of the lightning being inside of the hole, and the core kind of quakes, and you see cracks begin to form in the core. It's cracked. We use the term in D&D called bloodied a lot of times, which means like you've got it at least halfway. That's this for all of you. So you have cracked it. Thistlefoot, your turn.
Okay, well, I am definitely going to take Q's hand to help me get away from this situation.
A dagger just flew by your face and hit the core.
Yeah, so I take Q's hand to get away from
You all right, buddy?
Ow. That was really hurt. You said you have a plan?
Well, we're gonna find out if it works. I found this. I'm gonna try to put it back in.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna hold my action if the creature comes at Q, then I'll punch out at it.
The lightning elemental will start to kind of like 2 big lightning arcs shoot up out, and your reaction kind of goes off. So roll to hit for me as it's beginning to come up to attack the lot of you.
That's not going to hit. Yeah, 9
Plus?
You and 9 today.
Yeah, 9 plus 5.
14. You're one off. Close. You need 10 or more on that. But you throw a quick fist, and the core is not exited the tunnel yet, so you just whiff it through the electricity and your hair gets raised a little bit on your arm.
That little like static.
It exits, and it's gonna go for. You've been the most troublesome, I'd say, Q.
I'm taking the most damage.
Yeah, all right. Well, it'll go for both you and Penny because it has 2 attacks.
Yep.
First one
Son
on
of
Q is going to be 18.
That meets.
All right. What are you at health-wise?
I'm not bloodied.
Okay. All right. Let's
I'm
get
31. 31 health.
7 more lightning damage as one of the arms reaches out and hits you in your chest. The other one's going to go for Penny. That is going to be 16 to hit.
Miss.
You quickly dodge out of the way, and it hits the wall behind you, leaving a big black mark. Q, you are up now.
Well, I was kind of hoping it was going to still be in the tunnel, but I did not.
It is mostly, it's like halfway in, halfway out.
That's
the
a big
core,
zappy
though,
boy,
is
guys.
out or no?
No, it is not yet. It's the arms reached out to hit you.
Okay.
So it's about to exit the tunnel. It feels like it's trapped. You can see your shield has aggravated it, so it's
Okay,
coming back
here's my
at you.
plan. Here's what I'm going to try to do.
Oh, roll another concentration check for me, actually. You need to beat a 10 again.
15.
Okay, you're good.
16. That's good because that's really important.
Yeah.
Against his better judgment, going to approach the hole where the core is still trapped.
Okay.
The little tunnel.
Yeah.
And try to pack the dirt a little tighter quickly. Like shuffle it together.
We'll consider that like part of your movement and stuff.
And then he's going to take the vial that he just found and turn it upside down so the opening is facing the hole and shove it in the dirt. Basically making the only exit into that container. Thankfully, my concentration didn't break. So sort of, maybe the vial can be his action, but the following the bonus action movement of his spiritual weapon, he's going to push the shield
Oh yeah,
into the tunnel and try to sort of force the core into that container.
So I will let you do this. So you pack the dirt, put the bottle as the only exit, roll to hit for your spiritual weapon. If you hit, it goes in. If you miss, it just continues to block the path for now.
Okay, it's 10 total. 5 and then plus 5.
Dang. The shield starts to zoom through the tunnel, and it's almost like a compression of air and the resistance. You aren't able to do it this turn. You shorten its path for now, and you hope you hold concentration as it switches over to Penny. It is your turn.
Okay.
The vial is shaking as Q is holding it against the
Okay, I have
dirt.
an idea. Let me know if I can do this.
Yeah. Go for it.
I'm going to run back outside to the other side of the hole where the shield is. I'm going to take my hammer. I'm going to hit the shield.
So let's roll to hit. We'll do the same rolls.
Okay.
See if you can hit the creature. So roll to hit for me.
That makes it a 7.
Damn. You just bang against.
Sorry, 8.
You bang against the shield. You can feel your concentration just like a shiver go up your spine, like someone hit your spiritual weapon, and like the resonance of the metal of what the shield could be, just like from toe to head, vibrate and
Maybe it
resonate.
will just kind of make a loud noise and scare him into the bottle.
There's like a bit. It's almost like you're hitting a compressed soda can. It's just yeah.
I got the heebie-jeebies.
You can hear the static from inside. Thistlefoot.
That was my bright idea.
It was a good try.
Yeah. You're starting to wonder why the fuck she had this to begin with.
That's exactly what I'm wondering.
Why?
We have some questions. I'm going to go up to the bottle and just like stand against it, make sure that it doesn't like pop out. Does that make sense?
Yeah. In its attempt to break out, I will, since you're doing that, I'll give it disadvantage on its attempt to get out.
Yeah.
Which it is its turn, so I will roll 2 and take the lowest. Nope. Man, you're nice.
It's fun when it's not
You can always
me.
count on them to roll low.
I have D6, I just don't have them out.
Well, you can keep using mine.
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, I probably will out of pure laziness. 16 to hit, and we'll say that it is you, Q, since you're the one that's manning this mainly.
That ain't gonna hit.
All right, the bottle shakes, and you can see a part of the arcing lightning inside of it. You're getting closer to having this thing contained, and in fact, it is your turn now.
Okay, so I'm hurting.
Tell me about it.
So I am gonna cast Healing Word on. Oh, can I cast that on myself?
You can. Cast
That's
it.
always the question.
Yes, you
'Cause
can.
Okay, because it's like a creature you can see.
You can
other
see yourself.
choice.
Yes.
I can't
Ooh,
see
that's a
myself.
philosophical debate.
Yeah.
Can you see
you're
yourself?
So I'm gonna cast Healing Word at first level on myself.
Perfect.
I go for 3 whole points of damage.
Nice.
It'll help.
It's not plus anything.
Will do.
Oh, wait a second. No, I screwed that up.
Uh-oh.
Should be plus.
Yeah, but it's a bonus action now.
Yeah. It's always been a bonus action.
Yeah, but okay.
Are you trying to do something else?
Well, what I meant to do was cure wounds. I was like, that's a really low number. What I meant to do
you
is,
can do that.
Okay, let's walk it back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
That's
cast
fine.
Cure Wounds at first level.
Sure.
Which
and
is
that's
an action.
more.
It's an
I think it's
action.
2d8, right?
2d8s plus 3.
For your
8.
spiritual weapon.
Plus 3 is 11. So
Nice.
I heal for 11.
Which is way better than what
Which
you...
is way better.
You're...
So Q kind of feeling the burn on the back of his foot, as well as the multiple. I imagine they're kind of like, like you see pictures of people who got stung by jellyfish, and there's like red electrocution marks across their legs and stuff. I feel like he kind of looks like that. It's not charred yet, but it burns. It hurts. He's gonna channel his magic through his hands and run them over those singe marks. And as he runs his hand over those red singe marks, they shrink and become almost non-existent. as those wounds are cured. As his bonus action, he's going to try again to push the shield further up into the hole. And
Roll
compress.
2 hits.
Got
Roll to hit. You got it.
18.
Woo! All right. So
18.
I want you to describe what happens. You successfully bottle this thing, but what does this look like?
Q is going to approach the bottle quickly, and so he kind of sees Thistlefoot holding it down, and he's gonna push Thistlefoot away, and he's gonna put his foot on the bottle and shove it all the way deep, so just the top of the bottle is above the ground. As the shield makes its advance into the tunnel, Q is gonna put all of his weight into this bottle and wait sort of until he hears, I imagine it's like a thump, when the core is sort of sucked into this bottle.
Yeah.
Is the container, it's magical inherently, theoretically?
Yes. It's surprisingly sturdy, and as the shield is pushing against it, you don't hear any like crack, like it's sturdy. And parts of the lightning started to get sucked inside of it, and the core just
Okay, so as he hears that sound from the core going into the bottle, see how many mouth sounds we can make in one scene. Q's gonna say, I got it! And he's gonna
slam a cork in it.
pop the bottle out and put a cork in before it can electrocute him again for the fourth.
With a final slam and a teamwork from all of you, you're able to contain this lightning elemental, and it shifts back into that single beam of light inside of the bottle. And as you contain it, combat in the room dims, aside from the light coming in from the door and the now fallen debris from the penny rushing in.
Did you get it?
He's gonna turn around and say, "Oh, hey, Fenny, we got it.
Okay.
We got it. And he's gonna hold it up with a hand under it so it doesn't drop.
Laura kind of peeks down. You got it?
We got it. We're good.
Thank goodness.
Thistlefoot takes a deep sigh and just sits down.
I've only heard.
He's not doing good.
I've never captured one myself, but whoo! I've only heard about the troubles of catching one of those things. I'm glad. Why'd you let it out?
Why do you have it?
Why do I have it?
Why do you have it?
Potions!
What potion are you making?
Give me that. She comes down.
He's gonna hold it back.
Give me!
No, explain.
I can make some good, helpful potions for you.
Like,
Lightning in a bottle.
you're gonna drink this.
No, you
Here,
don't.
drink it.
No, you don't.
Drink it.
I have to make it
You
first.
said it's a potion.
Don't test an old woman.
Don't test me. I just got electrocuted.
I've been doing this for longer than you've been alive, Sonny.
You don't know that. You know how old I am.
Older than you.
I look good for my age.
You sure do.
Yeah, thanks.
You're welcome.
This is awkward.
It's
He's not gonna
not
give her the
awkward.
bottle. He's gonna hold it up here.
Uncork it after I've processed it. Don't open it now. And it can viably help you in a tight spot against, we'll say, bandits or other foes.
Fine. And he hands it to her.
That does sound pretty helpful.
Don't
She
let it out.
grabs it out of your hand.
You're welcome, by the way.
At least I know how to handle my reagents.
At least you can get to them now.
I'm giving you one as a thank you, Sonny.
Oh, thank you.
Just take it.
I'm a little frazzled. Okay, that hurt. It hurt a lot.
Thistlefoot just comes up to Q and just gives some little pats.
Hold me back. I'll hit an old lady.
Both tiny of us is like trying to hold you back and not get hit by your quills.
No, Thistlefoot's just giving him pats
Don't
like
tap
comp.
his back. Don't tap his back.
No.
No,
It's sharp right now.
no, it's on your
He's-
on
On
your
the- okay, the
yes,
chest.
on your
Okay.
like
How you're patting
arms
his
or
back
something. No,
with
not
all
your
the
back.
quills.
No,
He's all
no,
sprawled
I'm
out
just
right
like
now.
giving you like arm pats. Like calm down. Gotta
Well, the
pat your
good news
quills.
is we got it back in the bottle.
After a little bit of time, Elara, more calm demeanor as she's been working in her profession. And the bottle looks a little bit different now. It is an opaque, shining blue light now. And kind of holds it out to you, Q, and says, "For your help and your ignorance, I will explain this and then give it to you. So you can open this bottle. It is bottled lightning. You point it at whatever you wish, and it will zap them real good. This is the only one in my collection, and I'm giving it to you, even after you've set it free. I don't want to have to deal with this, so it is a thank you and a burden off of my shoulders, to be honest."
Q is now calmed down and can appreciate the moment. So he takes the bottle gives a smile. Thank you. Sorry about earlier. I got a little fiery.
It's okay.
It was a spicy situation. Okay.
I was a bit
happy.
shocked myself.
More of a zappy
He
situation.
kind of like nudges her with his arm. He's like, oh, right. Sorry, I forgot you're so old. My bad.
Whoa. Respect
Anyway,
your elders.
I'd like to give you some knowledge for your gardens that you're going to need to regrow. I've been around. I know some places. I know some methods.
Sounds a bit slutty.
Yeah. Well, you figure stuff out.
Whoa, okay. I don't know if I want to.
I've been around
You need to get tested before
to
that
a
happens.
lot of gardens.
It's really hard to
And
make
planted your seeds.
Yes.
Stop!
There's only one way that can go.
Oh my gosh.
Oh
In the
my.
ground.
All right. I'm blushing. You can't
Fertilize
see
the
me.
gardens.
All right.
He's gonna after clarifying what he was talking about, is that he's gonna share some sort of methods for growing in harsher climate and greenhouse methods, essentially for in the way that it makes sense for this area. But he's gonna help her build with some techniques to build sustainable crops, even if there's adversity that happens.
Yeah, and I think what makes sense is like maybe there's a moment where you, her, and Gundrik come up with a plan to build maybe a small greenhouse for the things that aren't locally grown that they need for things. And that is something that you are able to give to this town. That doesn't happen immediately. But once they're kind of starting to set up more, you may see that happen later on. So for mechanical purposes, for the bottled lightning, you can add that to I've added it to my homebrew collection on D&D Beyond.
I'll add it.
It's called Bottled Lightning. When the cork is taken off, a lightning bolt will come out of it and hit 1d100 lightning damage. So this is you earned some good stuff here.
1d100.
Yeah, worth of damage.
What the?
Wonderful.
Spicy.
So it could be 1 damage or 100 damage.
That's cool.
You definitely earned it. I will say you would have had a hard time fighting this thing. It had 90 health. So good thing you captured it. I was happy you did that because I was really excited to give it to you.
Yeah.
You knocked it over, which is why that happened. But awesome stuff.
Yeah, me too. I'm not. I have 6 health points.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What's your hit points? What's your hit point total?
24.
It did a lot of. The initial explosion did a fair amount.
Like your HP total
You
is
only have 24 health?
Yep.
Wow.
Bruh. I would have healed you. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I have more than your max.
That's
HP
fine.
when
I feel
heal
like that
myself.
fits.
Yeah.
That fits the combat. You're like in the zone.
Yeah.
For
Right.
those listening, a round of combat with your initiatives going once is 6 seconds. So like, if players forget something or I forget something, it can be kind of flavored into you're just kind of like distracted. After that's given, Gundrik comes up to you. I've done a little bit of work on the hammer, and I want you to have this. And he gives you exactly the same hammer that you had before, but there's some enchanted gems at the maul side, or the bludgeoning side of it. And you can add the Clan Crafter's Warhammer.
Ooh. Oh, I can't even spell.
It's going to take you a little bit of time. You have to attune to it for it to work. So at least an hour. You can use it as normal, but whenever you attune to it, you can use all the fancy things.
Okay.
Your father was a crafter, from what I gained from what we talked about, and skilled with what he made. And this will be helpful for you to do the same if you wish, or use it against your foes. So the heat of my forge will be in every hit.
Wow.
So you can use a bonus action to speak a magical command word, causing the head to glow with fiery orange, red, and molten metal. And while the hammer is glowing, it deals an extra 2d6 fire damage.
Jeez.
The effect lasts until you use the bonus action to speak the hammer's command word again, or until you drop or holster the warhammer. If you score a critical hit, the target creature must succeed on a DC 15 con save, or suffer disadvantage on all rolls on their next turn.
Do you happen to have this on the...
Yes, you can add it to
I
your
was starting
sheet.
to write all this down. I was like,
I like to
"Whoa."
add it. So a lot of the magical items we're going to be using Hopefully we'll be in the new 2024 stuff, but I will be doing a lot of homebrew things as well.
Playing Crafter's Warhammer, correct?
Yes, and that was added, so you should be able to see it in D&D Beyond. These things you can find on D&D Beyond. The two that I've just given out are homebrew items, but with that, we will wrap up this episode here as you receive some of your early rewards in Brackenmill, as you assist the town in rebuilding against bandit assaults and start to begin to figure out what you're going to do next to find Penny's father, learn more about what the bandits are doing, and keep the peace as a party. And until the next Twilight, see you next time.
Woo! Hey, Night Owls. Thanks for listening to this episode of Tales at Twilight. Mark is our DM, Becca is Penny, Matt is Thistlefoot, and Q is played by myself, Darwin. Our cover art is done by Seba Huidobono, and our theme by Jeremy. Links to their work are available in the show notes below. Do us a solid by leaving us a review on whatever podcast platform you listen on. Tell your friends, post it on socials, you know the drill. Our next episode will be released in 2 weeks, so stay tuned until the next Twilight.